Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. It is Friday, which means it is time for another edition of Tech Briefs. I'm Greg Nibbler, joined now by Ken Young from Flipboard. Hello, Ken.
Hey, Greg. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you, too. Let's catch everybody up on some stuff that went on. As usual, I know I say this every week, a lot happens in tech. And we're going to try to get you the best that we can here in 10 minutes. Let's talk about Amazon. Amazon finally holding their hardware event. We're in the hardware season right now with a lot of companies that are going to start announcing some of these things before we get to the winter season. And Amazon had a lot. They, as usual, they updated their Echo devices. They updated some of their Fire Sticks. They updated some of the Ring devices, which we knew that was going to happen. But then they also have some of these kind of outlier devices that fall in line with their goal of putting Alexa in everything. They want Alexa enabled everything. And there were three specific ones that I know we wanted to talk about, but these Echo frames seem to be getting a lot of play. And there are these glasses that have, they are Alexa enabled. They have two speakers on them, and you can walk around and talk to Alexa at any point. How do you feel about those?
Okay, you remember back years ago when Steve Ballmer was the CEO of Microsoft, and he made this whole infamous, now infamous, rant on stage where he started clapping and chanting, developers.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, this is the equivalent of that for Amazon, where they're saying Alexa, 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 Alexa everywhere, right? You highlighted everything right there, right? There's updated Echo speakers of all different sizes. There's an Echo Show with a clock. There's the Echo frames, which we're looking at right now. There's earbuds. There's actually a Ring. There's a smart oven. There's all these. There's light sockets that are Alexa enabled. There's Alexas everywhere you want to where you want to be. I mean, it's basically like a credit card that you want. Any opportunity for you to buy anything from Amazon, that's where you're going to be able to do it. It's all about convenience. So look, going back to the frames. I mean, this is not as creepy as Google Glass from years ago. Everyone's kind of doing wearables these days. So I mean, it's kind of interesting to see what Amazon's doing with these frames. Out of all the different wearables that they announced earlier this week, the frames are the one that that the public can actually buy, and these are not experiments. These are actually legitimate products that you can buy. They will have. Oh, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Those are the earbuds. It's so hard to keep track of in terms of the wearables. But look, the frames are they have a speaker, tiny speaker in the frames. They have a microphone, and you're going to be able to walk around saying, "Hey Alexa," sorry for those that have an Echo device right now. Look, go and where's the best way for me to get to where I need to go, or what's the recipe for X, Y, and Z, or whatever you want, and you all sync it to your device, to your mobile device, in order to get access to that information. So I mean, they're saying this is an invite only device right now.
Right.
I believe it's probably about $180 for these frames. But I mean, these don't have a display. They don't have a camera, so you won't get as creepy of a stare from people wondering why you have a camera facing them. And they look like regular Warby Parker-esque type of frames. And I mean, they look good. Kudos to Amazon for the style. And their power, and they also have I'm surprised they don't have any bone conduction type of technology that lets you hear it easily without letting people around you know what kind of a query you're asking Alexa.
Which you feel like that's probably something that's going to come down the line, because I know with a lot of these devices, they'll do like an initial, maybe an invite only or a specific run, but that's to test them out and then see where they can go, where they make improvements, and then eventually you're going to get it. Because the other one was they can't call it an Amazon Ring because they already have that, but they call it the Loop, but it's a ring. It's a ring for your finger that's Alexa enabled. That's the weirdest one to me, I feel like, where you're going to be talking to your Ring. And I guess it's got two speakers on it that are location sensitive enough to where you could actually hear it, but other people probably wouldn't. Take a look at some of the comments that come through there. And because we are broadcasting live, again, we are a podcast as well, though, so hit subscribe to the podcast if you have not done that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I don't know how this is going to work, but their goal is to put Alexa in everything. That is what they're doing, and so far they are really achieving that goal. So you can read more about the Amazon hardware updates and about everything they're doing at Digital Trends or Flipboard. Let's go on to our next topic, and that has to do with Google Play. We knew they were going to be coming out with the Google Play Pass. We didn't know exactly when it would happen, but this is, in a way, their way of competing with the upcoming Apple Arcade platform. So Apple Arcade is going to be a gaming platform for mobile devices through Apple. They'll have some exclusive games that'll just be for that. It's going to be $5. Google Play Pass is a little bit different. It allows you access to, I think it's 350 some different apps. They are not exclusive ones, but if you pay this $4.99 a month or even $1.99 a month for part of it, for if you get in early, you will get access to all of these different apps. They're going to have ad-free, the in-app purchases that you have. So if you play a game and you have to purchase a different map or something, you don't have to do that. It's a pretty incredible deal, and I think it's a pretty smart move on Google's part. How do you feel about it?
So I think you're right. 350 apps and games is kind of a compelling. It's critical mass. I mean, certainly if there's more that they can pull into there, great. I know Google wants to have a premium experience with this bundle. So if they actually put together quality games and apps in there, it might actually seem very appealing. And look, for $5 a month, you cut through all the junk in terms of ads and in-app purchases and whatever else you have to pay for it. I mean, that sounds like a great deal for right off the bat. You say it competes with Apple Arcade, but what's different from Apple Arcade and what I read on digitaltrends.com is that it's actually with Google Play Pass. It's not only games, it's also apps as well. So it gives you that scale. So this is a commendable experience from Google. Whether or not they have great games and apps that you want to have that are part of this, that's great. Because what you don't want to have is pay Google $5 a month only to find games that you're never going to want to play. Or apps you never want to use. Like, why do I need this Composer app when I just want something that'll help me manage my schedule, right? So it's like, as long as you give people what they want, the apps that they want to access, and also convince developers why participating in this bundle is a good deal, is a good move. That's going to be key. So, I mean, would you pay $5 for this?
I already did. Yeah, I signed up for it, and I got in on the $1.99 side. So I think if you sign up right now, you can get $1.99 a month for a year. I'm like, surely I'm going to find something worth $2 a month. But you are right in that I haven't actually gone through all of the apps yet, so I don't 100% know if it's everything that I'm going to want. But it's worth it for me to give it a shot, for sure. But yeah, are you going to do it?
No, I've already spent. I've spent my money on Disney Plus. I spent my money on Disney Plus. I don't have any more money for this.
Well, if you make that comparison, now I'm losing out on this. All right, well, that's the Google Play Pass. You can check that out. Again, Digital Trends and Flipboard. Read all about it. Let us know what you think about that. Maybe I made a mistake. I don't know. Tell me. Let's talk about one other event, though, this week, and that has to do with Facebook, but in particular, the Oculus side of things. Virtual reality and where they're going with it. Some interesting parts that they're looking for. Let's discuss this one right now that we're showcasing here if you're watching live. It's their idea of a brand new social media platform called Horizons, where we all live in a virtual reality world. You can build and create things. It looks a lot like Second Life, which is still around, by the way. I didn't know that. I had to do some research on that. Second Life's still around. But this is their idea of where they want to take virtual reality with this social media platform.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's this whole trend in tech where Silicon Valley meets Hollywood. That whole collaboration effort. So this is kind of what you see here is Second Life, but it also meets that Steven Spielberg movie Ready Player One, right?
Yeah.
This is like the oasis. Soon we're all going to be in this virtual reality world, and what they said on stage is the virtual reality is now. The time for VR is now. It's not years from now. It's today. And so what Horizons, which is supposedly opening in beta in 2020, is actually going to be this new world. I mean, it's going to be a more collaborative world where you can build your own destinations. You can have your own experiences. Where this is new Facebook. This is Facebook for the VR generation. Like, no longer is it going to be textual or flat. It's going to be more 3D. So you're going to be very much like this. You're going to be walking around with VR headsets and creating your own oasis. So the Facebook says that they're going to have human guides there that are going to be able to police this area, police this environment, and make sure that people are behaving politely and everything's going to go smoothly. And for some reason, I just don't believe them. I mean, I don't know if Facebook has thought about the potential ramifications of what could happen in this VR world if they can't even police their own social network, the one that's being used by more than 2 billion people. So you factor in, let's say, a fraction of that 2 billion monthly actives into Oculus, into Horizons. It's going to be really scary. And yes, they can say, oh, you can move into this private space if you're being harassed or whatever, if you want to be more secluded. That's not exactly going to solve everything. So I think Facebook has a lot more to do before they really start touting Horizons. It looks great. Look, aesthetically, it looks great. I personally want to try it out. It definitely wants me. I definitely want to try Oculus and Oculus Quest and all their other stuff that they want to do. But realistically, in terms of jumping on the bandwagon and supporting Horizons, probably not right away. It'll be many, many years before we actually see Facebook coming out with something really great for people.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they are going to be launching some beta tests, they think, beta testing later next year for it. But the other part is the hardware. I mean, right now it's still fairly expensive for all of that hardware, so it's not going to be something that everybody has until you start maybe baking it into a phone or something along those lines. You know, kind of like what Google did with Cardboard. If you can do it that way and still have that high quality, then I could see some more adoption of it. But right now, yeah, you're right. We're not there yet, but it does seem like this is where we're heading. We're heading to Ready Player One. That's where we're going.
Absolutely. So, yeah, but it's interesting. And yesterday during Oculus Connect, their Oculus CTO, John Carmack, had basically, he essentially gave a eulogy. You're talking about like VR being available on the phone. He gave a eulogy for Samsung Gear VR, right? He said, there's this opportunity. Right. So like, what's going on there? And so now they're still trying to, and they're also trying to figure out the social experience, the social opportunity for Oculus, for VR. And they totally misread that. They blatantly admitted that on stage. So it's going to be, as we tout about, like, hey, here's this new social network called Horizons. I mean, where you can, where they're optimistic about doing X, Y, and Z. I mean, there's still quite a bit under the hood that has yet to be figured out. So before everyone jumps on this thing and says, great, I want to try this out. It's not going to measure up to expectations by any means right off the bat. You're going to have to wait. This is a lot of work for Facebook. They can't just simply flip a switch and magic. They can't recreate their traditional social network.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. And I'll just say we don't have time. We're out, but they're also working on augmented reality glasses. But you can read about that on both of our sites, Flipboard and Digital Trends. So download Flipboard. And Ken, always fun. We caught up as much as we could this week. But thanks for another edition of Tech Briefs.
No worries. My pleasure.